Says connected. I think I'm connected. Can never tell with these things. I think we're doing this. Okay, so I'm here. Welcome everybody. It's David. Hopefully most of you know that. All right, so I'm gonna try adding Urs into the mix. Oh, we must be going. I see some messages. Hola, hey. Okay, let's see here. Add. Don't see Urs's name in the. I see. Okay. Hola desde Barcelona. Hi, David. Hello from the UK. Hello, everybody. I'm just waiting on having a bit of technical difficulties, waiting for Urs to join the live stream as well. Just take a look here. There he is. I think I see him. I'll try and add him now. Is this working? Is it working? I don't see him. Confirm. Wait. Did I get it? I see a waiting. I see a.
That's funny. That's funny.
There you are. Oh, we're going to get around this technology eventually. What was that?
It just takes a long time because I immediately at 6 o'clock, as soon as the button appeared, I pressed, as to join, and then it's funny. But we are, how many thousands of kilometers from each other? So hey,
I know it's kind of miraculous technology.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Enjoying the winter. I'm sure you are too.
What have you been up to over the holidays?
Oh, well, first of all, I couldn't wait for the holidays to come. And as soon as we came home from tour, from our last leg, we pretty much set up the Christmas tree and all the decoration and everything. So that was like end of November, right? And over the holidays, we had a great time, actually. Starting with Thanksgiving, because we are so Americanized. We do that now, even though we live in Europe. We love it. It's so beautiful. And so we've done that with our friends and neighbors, which has obviously never done it, and a 16-pound turkey and stuff like that. So they've never done that.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of fun. And then Christmas and New Year's Eve as well. And New Year's Day, we've been mostly spending a few days in the kitchen every time preparing, made the most wonderful romantic meals and celebrated. Christmas and New Year's, just me and Leticia. And then, funny enough, as much as we love Christmas, somewhere mid-January we came to a point where we were like, we've had enough Christmas now. So let's take the tree down and everything. And now we're just here in the mountains. It's beautiful weather. It's not the greatest skiing because we've had a big snow dump back in December. It hasn't really snowed decently since. There is skiing, because they got cannons. But it's still, I love it because you got the crisp, clean, cold mountain air and it's blue sky and sun. It's wonderful.
Nice.
What about you? You've had massive winter recently in New York, didn't you?
Yes, we have. We've been in like a deep freeze now since the beginning of the year. Well, backing up, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas. That's really cool about Thanksgiving. Obviously, that's, as you might call it, an American tradition per se, but, taking any time for anyone, anywhere, in any country, taking time out to have a moment of gratitude, I think it's absolutely fantastic. So that's really cool. Just wanted to say that about you kind of adopting this. It's cool. Christmas, it was a lot of cooking. I came up with a recipe for Christmas where I combined something I had made earlier in the week just as kind of a lark to try and make French onion soup. And I liked it so much, I decided to try and combine it with beef Wellington. And so I made a French onion beef Wellington that was like in these little ramekins that had the duxelle and it had the onions strained out from the French onion soup, and put those in with the beef chunks and then like a puff pastry over top, so it wasn't really wrapped up. It wasn't presented the same, but it was so good and it was so much fun to just try something crazy like that. And
an English man would just call that a beef and onion pie, right?
You know what? That's a fair point. I make beef and onion pie. And then in January, Sarah Joy and I, we went and did the St. Bart's Music Festival again, which came off very well and so much fun to be, in the beautiful weather of St. Bart's. But again, it was this weird thing, like you kind of had this with Christmas, where it was like, you're kind of like, okay, I think we're done here. And at a certain point in St. Bart's, it was just having come from the deep freeze where it was, in the negative degrees in Celsius. It was like averaging around 6 or 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And your body just gets used to that. Whether you like it or not, your body just gets used to it. And being down in the heat, it was great. It was gorgeous for the first half. And at a certain point, we're like, I kind of want to go home to the cold. It was the weirdest thing. But to play with those musicians is always such a treat. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, very restful and very enjoyable holiday season.
Yeah, and you've been doing that for many, many years now, right?
Yeah, since 2011. We've been 5 times since 2011.
Right. Nice.
So should we try and speak any of this in the Spanish?
You know what? I thought actually what would be easier, and we'll talk to everybody about this, but, we do another one probably in a couple of weeks' time. We'll do with Steven and me, and we just do the whole thing in Spanish.
Oh.
Because the whole going back and forth and then trying to translate, and I think it's a bit of a drag, isn't it? So I'm very sorry for everybody who does not understand English at the moment, but I think it just takes so much off the spontaneity and everything out of it. So we'll do a Spanish one.
I think that's a great idea, because also you eat up so much time just in translation. You can't really get to all the topics and have discussions like we just did. If we would have cut that all short and done a translation in Spanish.
Exactly. It just loses life. So we'll give something to our Spanish audience next time.
Yeah.
And then all the people who only speak English lose out. I'm sorry.
And of course, the people who speak Norwegian, they miss out.
I'm sure they all speak English anyway.
Fair point.
Yeah, I'm trying to read through these questions, and it's quite funny, actually. A lot of people just say hello, so hello to everybody. A lot of people are asking where we come into here and when we come into there. So, that we're still on a break for a few months, obviously, but that's more to gather our strength and our creativity and our strategy again, right? So we can really start strongly again. End of June, around there, we're going through a lot of Europe, right?
Yeah.
And there's been announcements now, which is, I think, the show in Barcelona on the 23rd of July.
Yeah.
Doing again, Les Nits de Barcelona in Jardín de Pedralbes, which is almost magical, and that's just gone on sale.
We should put this part in Spanish for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
It is Barcelona.
Entonces, sí, estamos preparando, obviamente. Estamos haciendo un poco un break porque tenemos que coger fuerzas y estrategia para volver fuerte con los conciertos bonitos alrededor del mundo. Estamos preparando mucho y ya hemos, como dices, anunciado algunas cosas en España y... el concierto en Barcelona, que va a ser en los Jardines de Pedralbes, los Nits de Barcelona, ya está en venta los tickets. Ese concierto va a ser el 23 de julio Y también Marbella, el Starlight, que es el 25, ya está anunciado. Y yo he visto apareciendo más fechas en el calendario en España ayer, justamente, que no son públicos todavía, pero solo digo que quedáis pendiente de las redes de El Divo y de la página, obviamente, y de la aplicación, porque aquí tienes toda la información, es la más fiable, y ahí vais a ver, tal que hay más conciertos por España confirmados, porque seguro que vamos a hacer más.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
But also, when we are in Marbella and across these performances, we are planning on doing a bit of an upgrade to our VIP experience. So on this tour, we're going to, and possibly on the future legs of tours that are coming up this year, we are looking at doing things a bit different. We're going to give, everybody's going to get early access to the shows. And we're going to do special performances for those VIP fans who get early access. So yeah, we should let everybody know in Spanish that that's happening as well, unless you already did. I didn't think you did.
No he dicho nada de eso. No, pero es que la experiencia VIP que vamos a presentar este verano también en España, obviamente, y por los restos de los conciertos que vamos a hacer, creo, por el resto del mundo, que ya tenemos más cosas planeadas, no solo Europa. Pero lo que vamos a hacer es que en el paquete VIP que puedes comprar por los conciertos, vamos a, hacer como un acceso temprano al concierto. Vamos a presentar a ese grupo selecto un mini concierto en que vamos a cantar 2, 3 canciones, 3, 4, yo no sé exactamente todavía, los detalles no les tenemos todavía, pero vamos a hacer como un mini concierto por un grupito de, yo no sé, entre 50 y 100 personas, entonces que tienen esas entradas VIP. Y eso seguro que lo vamos a hacer en Marbella, en el Starlight, y estamos planeando, obviamente, de hacerlos en todas las fechas que vienen este año y el año próximo, a lo mejor, porque siempre queremos hacer algo especial, y el año pasado hemos hecho mucho de preguntas y respuestas, de Q&A y cosas así, que fue muy divertido a veces también. Y ahora hacemos otra cosita, hacemos esto, cantamos unas canciones, a lo mejor un poco con un arreglo reducido también, que tenéis un poco una experiencia más íntima y más especial de ello, ¿vale? So, yeah.
I know we said we weren't going to speak Spanish, but well done. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, but I mean, just kind of, as we're starting in Europe now in June, July, you know, and Spain is some of the first territories we go to, it makes sense, obviously, you know. And we'll probably, when we do a Spanish live like that, we'll repeat all that. But anyways, you will be able to find all that information on the socials and everything.
That's true. Mm-hmm. By the way, I guess this is a technical glitch of our app, but we're getting a lot of comments that are scrolling through, which are mirroring what I'm actually seeing on the app, which is that the comments are blocking your face. They're just scrolling right by your face.
I know.
So nobody's getting to see. We got to come up with a better solution for that for when we go live. Our design team fix that.
I can adjust my height, so when I talk, my mouth is visible, and when I listen, my eyes are visible.
Speaking of in the fan section, in the fan Q&A section of the app, there are some Valentine's Day questions. So if y'all want to, hang on, I'm getting a message from our design team.
Hey,
to minimize. What's that?
Oh yeah, that's more for the people actually. For the people who are watching, because I know my face, I don't need to see it. But
well, something
for the people
about
who are watching, you can press the little bubble on the bottom left, and then you don't see the questions going by, so you can see my face.
You have to turn off the
whatever you prefer.
Turn off the chat bubble. Well, good. It's a very good design after all. I'm going to switch it back on because I got to look at the comments. But so if you want to go to the fan Q&A section, there are some Valentine's Day questions there, and if you answer those questions, you'll get a special Valentine's Day exclusive badge, and these are going to be featured in the fan spotlights that are posted every Friday. So hope you all go in and check that out, and maybe we take a couple of questions from the fans.
Well, I definitely have to say hello and happy birthday for tomorrow to Francis Mendez, because that pops up like every 15 seconds. So happy birthday to feliz cumpleaños mañana, Francis.
Happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños. Also, yeah. I saw a little while ago, I saw a Japanese fan kind of scrolling by. What dedication? It's 2:30 in the morning there, or 2:15. What time is it here? It's like 2:15 in the morning there. That is true dedication. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah, thank you for being diehard and staying up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu. So yeah.
Jorgem. That's funny. Hello, Holland.
So, one question that we have for everybody, because most everybody is kind of saying, when are you coming back to our country or our city or whatever it is? And the answer to everybody is as soon as we can, and keep checking back either on the app or ildivo.com for that information. But aside from this, what would you like to see? We're trying to do a little bit of research of what you would like to see from us on social media, because we know that we're not influencers per se, and so we have difficulty trying to figure out, other than snapping a photo and posting of ourselves, just kind of where we're at and what we're doing, or maybe a small video of here's what we're up to. But is there anything from your guys' end that you would like to know from us, any questions you'd like us to answer, or anything you'd like to see us doing? Keep posting in the comments, and we'll see what we can do about making more posts. I know for myself, it's one of my New Year's resolutions to try and get back into socials and re-engage with that. But we'd love to hear from you guys of what you would like to see from us.
Yeah, what I see popping up here a lot is a day in the life of. And I always, we should do that. We can easily do that, obviously. I just always think it's so funny because I think people will be so disappointed. I just think,
I don't think so.
I don't know. I get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and get out of bed at some point, have breakfast, and then I do something during the day, and I do something else, and then I have dinner, and then I go to bed again. That's kind of my days.
Rinse, lather, and repeat. Or not in that order. Lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, David, I want some recipes of yours.
Well, that could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun. Make some cooking videos. There's so many. I get all my great cooking tips. I get all of those from socials. I don't feel like anything that I could particularly contribute other than my weird creations that combine things that probably shouldn't go together. But then, of course, you said they do go together, and people already do that. So I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I saw another one that said make a calendar. What kind of a calendar? I didn't see who put that, but like a printed calendar with like photos, or do you want just a calendar of when we're going to post on socials?
Yeah, interesting question. Because we've done calendars in the past, but we haven't done one in a long time, I think, right?
She says a sexy one.
Yeah, I just thought, first thing when you say calendar, I thought American Fireman.
I think I'm starting to blush.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I always see. I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot here, but I always think people probably want to see us sing on the social media. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, probably they do. We got to figure out. Technology is just not advanced enough for us to be able to sing together live without a massive train wreck of delay between everybody's voices. And everyone has different bandwidth and connects. It just doesn't exist yet. But maybe we could do. Maybe we could figure something out where we do offline, like the performance videos we did during COVID. Maybe that's
Yeah. Yeah, I think especially now because we still got still almost 5 months until we'll be actually on tour again, right? So should we do something? We're not just gonna switch off on El Divo completely in that time. Even though I must say it feels nice sometimes. Because you remember in the beginning we kinda had that, right? We kinda were very busy the first 3 years, 20 years ago. And then we had a long break, almost 18 months actually, which was a bit too long. But then we kind of did an album, went on tour, and then the next year was pretty quiet. And it kind of feels like that at the moment. And I kind of am enjoying it, that you can again have a bit of a life, And I'm thinking also, once we start off again, second half of this year, everything I hear from management and agencies will be out there until the end of 2026. So I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it is definitely nice. It has been, we haven't been consistently touring, but it's been the overwhelming focus for the last 3 years of just kind of the next territory and like a small break, but then the next territory and then a small break and the next, and it's like, okay, what's the next tour? Okay, the album. Okay, the thing. And it's just been, it's been full on. So this is nice. And for those of you who are tuned in and think that we're, just like kicking back and having a break, we make it look that way. But we are, in fact, planning our next steps. We have these legs coming up of, there's some more Double X performances coming, but we're also thinking, at some point we have to start thinking about the next configuration of a tour and what that's going to look like, what the repertoire is going to be. Are we going to work on a new album? How soon should we do that? How's that all going to work? So, it never really ends. We're still working on stuff. So
yeah, I saw a question coming up earlier. Somebody said, when you go back on tour, will it be the same show? And just because you mentioned that, we don't go to the same city or to the same territory twice with the same show. We have started the Double X tour, celebrating our 20 years. The album release date anniversary is actually coming up soon, right? So that's very exciting. And but we have not been around the whole world. Everywhere we have got audiences and fans with that show yet. And I think it's definitely a very beautiful show. And, the people who have not seen them in territories, they definitely still get to see the Double X tour. And then when we come back to territories where we have presented the Double X show already, there we come in with something new. And that's what we obviously are thinking about already, because we want to make something different, something surprising, something beautiful. Yeah, just something that people will be excited again to come and see El Divo. And something that's fun for us as well, right? Something that we will enjoy.
It's been really nice. Like, people are commenting here and they're talking about, some people are saying bring the orchestra back, and some people are saying bring solo moments back, and some people say bring Amor y Pasión music back, which I think these are all great ideas, and it gives us a lot of really good, a lot of really great feedback as to how how and what to program for upcoming segments. And once we eventually finish with, as you said, once we've taken Double X everywhere, what do we do next? So this is really great feedback. Really appreciate it. And I'm sure that I'm hoping that not just the video is being recorded, but also all of the comments are being recorded, so that hopefully our team can keep track of all of these suggestions. I see one question just went by. Where's Sebastian? At the moment,
I saw that.
Yeah. At the moment, he was on last week, and at the moment we only have the capacity for having 2 people live streaming at once on this app. So we're working on it. We're working on continuing to build the app infrastructure so that we can have more options and more accessibility and more interface potential. So yeah, we're working on it.
Oh, you just got corrected there. He wasn't on last week, somebody says, and that's actually correct.
Oh, that's right. It was supposed to be Stephen and Seb, but it was just Stephen. I forgot.
Because it didn't work.
Literally,
Right?
I outed myself. I didn't tune in.
Yeah, because that was totally the plan, that it should be Stephen and Sebastian. Yep. But then technically it just didn't work. So I think they've been working on the app. The developer's been working on the app over the last week, and now at least we have 2 faces on there. Maybe at some point we'll make it to 4, but
And yeah, to answer the next question that comes up, do you guys hang out when you're not together? The answer is no. We don't even tune into each other's live streams.
No.
How it is fun though. This kind of bringing us into this century. We're gonna have to start learning the Gen Z lingo and stuff so we can still remain current and relevant. No cap.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, I think we're
yeah. I think I'm gonna have dinner. I'm hungry.
What's that?
I think I'm gonna have dinner. I'm hungry.
You know what? That's that. Hey, you've not had dinner. Oh yeah, it's dinner time there. Yeah, I should have lunch. Good idea.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's about lunchtime for you, isn't it?
Yeah. What are you gonna make?
I'm not a big dinner person anymore these days. So, Leticia made an empanada yesterday with tuna, onions, sweet onions, and tomato and eggs and stuff. So, probably just gonna have a piece of that and like a peppermint tea, and then I'll probably. I didn't have a great night yesterday, so I'm a bit tired. I'm probably just gonna watch a movie, and that's it. An evening in the life of.
Well, be sure to take some content.
Yeah, this is me sitting on a sofa.
I saw. This is a really stupid story, but I was pretty big into the TikTok. And then there was that ban that was proposed, and I fully expected that ban was going to stick. And then it got rolled back. But in the interim, in the 1 hour or 2 hours that it was down, I just thought, well, that's it. TikTok's gone. So, deleted it from my phone, expecting that I would not be able to, look at it again. So I deleted it from my phone and was like, all right, I'm going to, devote the time that I had been spending on TikTok to real life things. Maybe make some of those recipes that I'd found on TikTok. And then 2 hours later, it's back, but it's not on the App Store. And so I can't download it. So for me, it is permanently gone. But one of the things that was on there that I thought was really fun was a trend that was going around of people watching movies that they had never seen before, really popular movies. A lot of the people I would see were watching Star Wars for the first time. These are adults who've just never seen Star Wars. So they got the camera on themselves, just filming their reactions to watching Star Wars for the first time. So maybe you should do that at some point, Pick a movie you've never seen, something that you've always wanted to see, Just put a camera on and film yourself watching the entire thing. I think people would love that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No. I just saw myself crying watching Moana or something like that.
People would love that. People would absolutely love that.
Yeah. It's funny, I just saw one, and funny enough, it just stuck there for like quite a few seconds and said, what are your bad habits? Because everybody's got them, so I'm sure you've got them too. That's funny, well, David. What are your bad habits? Tell me.
What are my bad habits? Well, first of all, we have to take a step back and create what is the scale of good and bad, because short of religious morality principles being imposed upon a person, beyond that, that scale is relative to everybody. So, we're going to have to take a whole bunch of questions of what people would consider bad.
Yes, we'll answer that in the book.
David for mayor. How politically middle of the road of me.
Yeah, exactly. Spoken like a true politician.
There you go. There you go. Being a performer is like being a politician.
I'm going to have dinner.
Okay, go have dinner. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And one last thing, please remember, the four of us will never ask you for anything other than your love and support. We will never ask you for money. We will never be reaching out in any sort of way in this kind. They're all imposters. If we don't have a blue check mark, and that doesn't mean anything on Twitter anymore, we used to, but now it doesn't. Anybody can have a blue check mark. Don't trust Twitter. If we don't have a blue check mark, or if we're not here on the app, it's not us. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you had as much fun as we did. This was really fun.
Yes, and I have no idea how to quit actually now.
Okay, well, I have to hit the stop button, so you're my prisoner until I do.
Okay, have a lovely day. Say hello to your wife and dog.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon. Bye.